Good morning to all of you presenters. I, Anand, on behalf of IIC and ECEL, would like to welcome you all on today's Institutions Innovation Council. IIC was established on 21st November 2018 at JIMS for Sandhurst. Since its inception, IIC, by the Innovation Cell MIC, it was established to engage large number of faculty, students, and staff in various innovation and entrepreneurship-related activities such as hackathons, leadership talks, ideations, workshops, seminars in IPR, entrepreneurship, and other competitive events to enhance the innovation and entrepreneurship ecosystem in the institute. Now I would like to talk about ECEL of JIMS for Sandhurst. ECEL was started in the year of 2018 as a group of students to get together to promote entrepreneurship in the campus communities. With the support of faculty and student coordinators, they can form an effective advisory team to promote entrepreneurship and assess the cell which can be functional under JIMS for Sandhurst. ECEL is set up to foster entrepreneurship among the students where they can learn important and useful traits about entrepreneurship by conducting several activities, competitions and workshops for interaction with successful entrepreneurs, building prototypes, setting up small campus companies as well. Today, we are here to commemorate National Education Day, a day dedicated to honoring one of the greatest visionaries of reformers and a freedom fighter in India, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad. It is a day to recognize the vital role education plays in the development of the nation. And Maulana Abul Kalam Azad's role was one of the most important. He was a multifaceted personality, a freedom fighter, a scholar, and a visionary leader. His lifelong commitment to education was a testament to his belief that knowledge and learning are the true vehicles of empowerment and progress. It was his dedication that led him to play a pivotal role in shaping our education system. Under his leadership, the Indian government created the University Grants Commission (UGC) and the All India Council of Technical Education (AICTE), which continues to regulate and maintain standards of higher education in India. Azad was also instrumental in nurturing institutions like Indian Institute of Technology (IIT) and Indian Institutes of Management (IIM), which have since become globally recognized centers of excellence in engineering and management education. His vision for scientific research and innovation led to the establishment of organizations such as Council of Scientific and Industrial Research (CSIR). Another important aspect of Azad's educational vision was the promotion of the rich tapestry of India's diverse culture and heritage. He believed that education should be a tool of preserving and celebrating a pluralistic approach of our nation. Azad played a pivotal role in preserving and promoting Indian languages, art, culture, and thus ensuring our education system remains deeply rooted in our traditions. Furthermore, Maulana Azad's role in the establishment of the Indian National Library and the National Archives of India was instrumental in preserving our history and making it accessible to future generations. This commitment to preserving our past and nurturing our future through education has had a profound impact on our national identity. Maulana Abul Kalam Azad's legacy in education extends far beyond the institutions and policies he helped to shape. His spirit of inquiry, his passion for learning, and his unwavering commitment to the values of secularism and inclusivity continue to inspire generations of students and educators in India. As we are celebrating education today, let us remember the words of this great visionary. Education imparted by our heart can bring revolution to the society, and pledge to carry forward this vision of a vibrant and inclusive education system for all. Let us honor his memory by rededicating ourselves to the cause of education, inclusion, and progress of this education. As we are gathered here today, Education Day, I am delighted to introduce to our speaker today, who has dedicated his life to the cause of education. Mr. Vineet Verma, Assistant Professor in Media and Communication Department at JIMS. He has a teaching experience of 5 years and has taught in various esteemed universities and colleges in India, which include Delhi School of Journalism, DU, Mahatma University, and New Delhi YMC. He has done his graduation from the University of Delhi, a Master's in Mass Communication from Guru Jameshwar University of Science and Technology, and Master's in Political Science from India. He qualified in UGC NET in Mass Communication in the year 2017 and is presently pursuing his PhD at Pune University. His areas of interest and research are advertising, public relations, new media, communication, marketing, and media and society. One of the key aspects of Azad's legacy in education was his unwavering belief in the power of inclusion. He championed the idea of providing education to all, irrespective of their caste, creed, or socio-economic background. This belief was instrumental in shaping the politics that laid the foundation for a more accessible and equitable education system in the independent India. Azad's most significant contribution was as the first Minister of Education in independent India. He played a pivotal role in the development of the Indian education system, overseeing the establishment of educational institutions and policies that set the nation on a path of liberty. Now, Sakshi will present a planter to Mr. Vineet Verma. To share his insights on the importance of education and the role it plays in shaping life.
Okay, good morning everyone. Thank you so much, Priya ma'am, for giving me this opportunity. I'm here, we are celebrating today's day, which is National Education Day. When we talk about National Education Day, we talk about education. And the question arises to students, why we are celebrating National Education Day? What is the reason behind that? When we talk about National Education Day, when we ask the question, why National Education Day? So we celebrate National Education Day because of one person behind that. The person was Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad. He was India's first education minister, independent India's first education minister. He served from 1947 to 1958, almost a decade, more than a decade. He was a person behind India's education. He established India's education after independence. Maulana Azad, when we talk about him, we talk about why we are celebrating him. Maulana Sahab was a freedom fighter. He was a person, he used to publish a weekly magazine, weekly journal. As I am delivering my speech and lecture in journalism department of JIMS, it is my duty to tell you the man with his skills and talent. Maulana Sahab used to publish a weekly journal called Al-Hilal in 1912. He used to publish different articles, news stories in that weekly journal. That weekly journal used to criticize the policies of the government. And who was the government at that time? The Britishers. He used to criticize the policies of Britishers. He used to criticize the atrocities of Britishers during that time. Other than Al-Hilal, the weekly journal, He also published other two journals as well. He was a journalist, he was a freedom fighter, thinker, minister, philosopher. He is also the Bharat Ratna. He is the Bharat Ratna of India. When we talk about Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, he always talked about education. He emphasized specifically education of women. He said that women in our society should be educated. In his life, he worked a lot in the direction of women's education. So today, on National Education Day, we are celebrating his life, his works. As Anupriya ma'am just talked about the achievements, the establishments that he did under his tenure in India. Let's move further and let's talk about the essence of today's day. Education, Siksha. Why education is important? Education is just not to acquire skills. Education is just not to acquire talent. Education is much more than, isn't it? Education teaches you a life lessons. Education is not to learn about dates. Education is not to learn about concepts only. Education is much beyond that. Kiska yudh kab hua? Education is not that. Education is when you understand that, acquire knowledge, skills, and apply that in your life. When you acquire the knowledge and apply in your life, this is called the investment. In the words of Benjamin Franklin, he said, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. People invest in money, people invest in FDs, mutual funds, share market, shares, and different sources that they have. Actual investment is education. If you are educated, you can change many things. If you are educated, first of all, you can change yourself. You can change your behavior. You can change the way you talk, you communicate in society. And why I'm saying education is the investment, there's a reason behind that. When you invest money in mutual funds, in share market, it goes like this. It's not, it goes up, sometimes it goes down. When you invest in education, it goes up, up, up. People say that you can steal from different sources. There are many people in your life, from them you get the knowledge. Nobody can steal education, knowledge from you. And when you share the education, it goes up and up. When you share the money, come on the when you share the food, come on the share after khane. When you share everything, उस समय कम हो जाएगा. When you share your friend, कम हो जाएगा. मम्मी आप कभी शेयर करोगे? करते हैं ना? अब मेरे भाई दो भाई बहन हो गए, तो I'm sharing my, now I have to share my mother with my siblings. तो मेरा प्यार कम हो जाएगा, माता का मुझे मिलेगा, जो पैसे मिलेगा. But on the other hand, when you share your knowledge, you will see the rise of knowledge in your mindset. Why so? Because you're repeating things, you're sharing things, you're sharing concepts, you're sharing knowledge that you have. It rises, you share the knowledge. And when you don't share the knowledge, you don't see the rise of it. ये कुछ ऐसा है कि बड़े बड़े जंग लग जाना है. It's good to share the knowledge. So education is the thing. If you invest in it, if you invest your time in education, you'll see the changes in yourself and your behavior. एजुकेशन गुड और बैड? क्या कुछ ऐसी एजुकेशन होती है जो गुड या बैड, अच्छी और बुरी? There are. What is good education? If there have been a decades, people were talking about it. A debates on good education or bad education. It's simply if you invest in education and you are preparing yourself for the future, preparing yourself for the upliftment of the society, upliftment of yourself, upliftment of your family, it's a good education. If you're educating yourself, and if you're acquiring the knowledge to see the change in yourself in the world, this is a good education. This is a good education. On the other hand, if you are seeing the education which is dangerous for the society, that is not good education. Let me give you an example of it. When people are educating other people about the weapons, the terrorist organizations, terrorist groups, the militant groups, they teach, they also give the education about how to defuse a bomb, how to make bombs. That is not a good education, isn't it? Do you agree with the point? What they are learning? They are learning things which destroy the world, which will destroy the world. We have seen the terrorist organizations organized crimes. The 9/11, 26/11, the Taj Hotel, the Oberoi Hotel, the terrorist attacks in India, the parliament attacks in India. There was a complete organized efforts by the militant groups, by the terrorist groups across the world. They also acquire knowledge. They also get an education, but that is the bad education. Today we are in the world of technology. We are in the age of internet. We are in the age of information society. We are in the global village. Why do I say we are in the global village? Because of the internet connectivities. If you want to share something today, you can share it with the people sitting in Australia and America. It's very easy. Just one click of the mouse, or just one click on the screen, you can send messages. A person sitting in America, Cuba, and anywhere across the world. That's why we are in the global village. And this time is really crucial to use your education for good purposes rather than for bad purposes. You all know we have a dark web as well. As the coin has two faces, same goes with this type of education. A bad education is always intended for bad things. Let's move further and let's talk about education in some different aspects. I will share some aspects like education and society. When we talk about education and society, when you acquire the knowledge in society, you have the capability to change the society, to uplift the society. It starts from yourself. There is this quote by Mahatma Gandhi as well. If you want to change, if you want to see the change in the world, start from yourself. दुनिया में आप चेंज देखना चाहते हो तो आप पहले खुद में चेंज लाए, खुद से स्टार्ट करना चाहिए। एक तो है education helps you to change yourself. Then you try to change the family. Try to change in the sense uplift. They teach. They also give the education about how to defuse a bomb, how to make bombs. That is not a good education, isn't it? Do you agree with the point? What they are learning? They are learning things which destroy the world, which will destroy the world. We have seen the terrorist organizations organized crimes. The 9/11, 26/11, the Taj Hotel, the Oberoi Hotel, the terrorist attacks in India, the parliament attacks in India. There was a complete organized efforts by the militant groups, by the terrorist groups across the world. They also acquire knowledge. They also get an education, but that is the bad education. Today we are in the world of technology. We are in the age of internet. We are in the age of information society. We are in the global village. Why do I say we are in the global village? Because of the internet connectivities. If you want to share something today, you can share it with the people sitting in Australia and America. It's very easy. Just one click of the mouse, or just one click on the screen, you can send messages. A person sitting in America, Cuba, and anywhere across the world. That's why we are in a global village. And this time is really crucial. You use your education for good purposes rather than for bad purposes. You all know we have a dark web as well. As the coin has two faces, same goes with this type of education. A bad education is always intended for bad things. Let's move further. Let's talk about education in some different aspects. I will share some aspects like education and society. When we talk about education and society, when you acquire the knowledge in society, you have the capability to change the society, to uplift the society. It starts from yourself. There is this quote by Mahatma Gandhi as well. If you want to change, if you want to see the change in the world, start from yourself. दुनिया में आप चेंज देखना चाहते हो तो आप पहले खुद में चेंज लाए, खुद से स्टार्ट करना चाहिए. एक तो है. Education helps you to change yourself. Then you try to change the family. Try to change in the sense uplift, develop. With the education, with the educated society, we see people are there with good communication skills. We see people are mannered, disciplined. And uneducated society is not disciplined. There is a hustle around. Education teaches you the life lessons, how to behave in society, how to be the part of the society, be the members of the groups in the society. Because in the society, what is society? Society comprises of many different groups and institutions, isn't it? एक समाज में अलग-अलग institution and अलग-अलग groups हैं. And we, the human beings, are the part and the members of those groups. As a society, it's our responsibility to take the society to different heights. So, if we are educated, only then we can change the society. We can change people. We can uplift the health of people. Because if we are educated, we know कि पानी इकट्ठा नहीं होने देना तो डेंगू हो जाएगा. अगर हम एजुकेटेड हैं, then we know मास्क लगाएंगे तभी हम कोविड से दूर रह सकते हैं. 2 गज दूरी, मास्क का जरूरी. Only if we know, if we are educated about health. If we are educated about different diseases, तभी हम बच सकते हैं. If we are educated about the pollution, we can bust. Our pollution है बाहर तो मास्क लगाना चाहिए. So your knowledge helps you to improve yourself and society. We are seeing the rise of societies across the world. How education helps economics? What's your point?
Some growth related to the education. So there is an aspect that you grow when you educate yourself. Indian economic system lags behind a lot in terms of growth. So when we educate ourselves into a person's ability or a skill, we help to grow the country.
Very good. Thank you so much. So according to John B, education helps in our economics as well. If you want to grow economically, we have to focus on education. Because for economics is not child's play. अर्थशास्त्र, ये कोई बच्चों की बात नहीं है. तभी बहुत बड़े गुरु चाणक्य wrote अर्थशास्त्र. And we all know Chanakya को हम विश्व शर्मा भी कहते हैं. We know the other name of Chanakya is विश्व शर्मा. Why am I talking about Chanakya here? He wrote Arthashastra, Indian philosopher, economist. For economy, we need educated people. To develop, we need educated people. To see the development of the people, to see the development of standard of living of the people in the society, we need education, knowledge. And for that knowledge, we try to grab it from different sources. Education helps you to develop at micro level and macro level. What is micro and macro level? There is concepts in economics, micro and macro level. When we are talking about economics, we have economics at family level also. Family economics. जब पापा कमा के लाते हैं, मम्मी कमा के लाती है, उसके बाद से बजट बनता है, खाना पीना आता है, फीस एजुकेशन आती है. On the other hand, we have economics at national level, state level, macroeconomics. When we talk about economics in a country, we talk about inflation, we talk about jobs in the country, unemployment, employment in the country, the lending rates, the bank rates, the interest rates, the share market. Economics is of everything. But why we are talking about that? Because for all of these things, inflation क्या होता है, चीजें क्या होती हैं, mutual funds क्या होते हैं, इस सब के लिए हमें क्या पता होना चाहिए? We should be knowledgeable, and for that we should be educated. If you are educated, you know how to manage your investments. If you are educated, you know how to manage your funds. नहीं तो पैसा आएगा और खत्म हो जाएगा. हमने कई दफा देखा है, we have seen that the government displays people. Government will sometimes they acquire lands. They acquire lands for the development. जैसे मेट्रो के डेवलपमेंट में एक्वायर किया गया है, सड़क किनारे से कोई से घर था उसको एक्वायर किया गया. तो गवर्नमेंट गिव्स द मनी टू पीपल. पैसा आता है, पैसे रहते हैं. But after some time कुछ नहीं बचता. क्यों? वो ज्ञान ही नहीं था. Knowledge was missing. The knowledge was missing from that. The knowledge missing था तो उन्होंने इन्वेस्टमेंट करी नहीं. जो समझ आया वहां पैसा लगाया, पैसा खत्म. एक समय ऐसा आता है पैसा खत्म हो जाता है. और जब पैसा खत्म होने लगे, सबसे बड़ा संकट है वहां. So the perfect management of economy, management of money, management of lending rates, management of interest rate in a country is really important. Because if you cannot manage these things in a country, your country will be destroyed one day or will be under debts. Likewise, that we have seen in the case of Sri Lanka. Recently, we have seen the Sri Lanka's economic crisis, Venezuela's economic crisis, Pakistan's economic crisis. Pakistan is in the state of economic crisis these days. Sri Lanka is still in the state of economic crisis. We have seen. So this is the reason perfect management helps you to achieve a good economy. And how it is possible? Education. So education is not just what we have written here. Education is not just what we have written here. Education is much beyond this. What it means? Okay, I learned the concepts. But the perfect education is when you apply that education in the society, in your life. If you are learning something, don't learn for just for the sake of your exams, just for the sake of numbers. If you're learning something, learn for your future, for your career, for your society, for yourself, for the upliftment of yourself. So with this note, I'm here to conclude my today's session about education. And in the end, I would say, in the words of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, the teacher, the philosopher, the scientist. So he says, and he said, to uplift the education in the country, the teachers of the country, the students of the country have to follow creativity. You have to be creative. The teacher has to be creative. The students have to be creative. And when there is a creativity in the education, you will see the rise of education level in the country. This is what he said, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. And with this note, thank you so much for listening to me patiently.